Let's look at the incredible organ that is the liver from a kinesiology perspective. The liver has so many jobs. I think it's got over 500 vital functions within the body. So let's explore some of the things that it does. And from a meridian energetic perspective, it is known as the chief of staff or the general because it just plays such a huge role in the body. So let's go through the different functions that the liver is responsible for. So we've got the production of bile, and bile helps carry away waste and breaks down fats in the small intestine. So it's a big part of digestion. It also produces certain proteins for blood. It also produces cholesterol and special proteins to help carry fats through the body. And what's important about cholesterol, and what was so misunderstood back in the 1980s when there was the low-fat revolution, is that we need fats. Fats is not an enemy. We need fats in the body to be able to produce cholesterol, and our hormones are made out of cholesterol. So the liver is responsible for producing cholesterol, which is also to do with inflammation and also to do with hormone production. So many jobs. The liver also has a partnership with the pancreas to do with blood sugar management, because it converts excess glucose into glycogen and stores it to use it later for energy. It also regulates blood levels of amino acids, which are our building blocks made out of, which is our proteins. It processes hemoglobin for use for iron content. The liver also stores iron. It converts poisonous ammonia into urea so that we are able to excrete it in urine. It clears the blood of drugs and other poisonous substances. So when we have quite a toxic lifestyle, it's one of the things that we really work with is cleaning down the toxic chemicals that we've got in our lifestyle, because it's going to give the liver a break. The liver also regulates blood clotting. It also makes immune factors and removes bacteria from the bloodstream. The liver can be considered as an immune organ. So not only is it playing this role in detoxifying the body, making hormones, clearing hormones down, part of digestion, it also plays a role in immune function. It clears bilirubin from red blood cells, and so it's common for when that builds up that you can see that jaundice, skin and eyes that turn yellow. And when the liver has broken down harmful substances, it excretes them into the bile or the blood. And bile, so when it's taken the toxic, harmful substances, if it goes through the bile, it will go through the intestines and leave through feces. If it's gone into the blood, then it will get filtered out by the kidneys and leave in the form of urine. So we can also see this. The liver works with so many different organs. We've got the intestines there, we've got the kidneys there, we've got the circulation for the blood. We've also check out the lesson on the gallbladder meridian, because the liver and the gallbladder work together. So the liver is absolutely vital to good health. There are two, from a kinesiology perspective, there are two muscles that are connected into the liver meridian, and this is the pectoralis major sternal, which is here in the chest, and it's in the rhomboids, which is in the mid back, and the rhomboids look a little bit like a Christmas tree. So you've got the spine, and then you've got two muscles next to the spine in the mid back. They are the rhomboids connected into the liver meridian. So symptoms of a liver imbalance, we would be looking at hormone imbalances, feeling quite toxic, feeling quite, I don't even think I've got a word for that, toxic, I suppose. Headaches, irritability, feeling dizzy, eye conditions are associated with the liver imbalance. So the floaters that we get in the eyes, tendinitis, because the liver meridian looks after the tendons, abdominal and digestive pain, especially after eating fats, because of this processing and digesting of fats that the liver function is responsible for. Itchy skin, that's where the liver's not effectively clearing the toxins out of the body, and so it makes the skin itchy. A dark urine colour or a pale stool colour can both be symptoms of a liver imbalance. Nausea or vomiting, very, very livery. So we know that drinking alcohol heavily, that nausea or vomiting with the hangover That's the liver saying, I'm not having a good time. Because it's the liver's job to clear that alcohol down, as well as process the sugars in the alcohol. So the liver really takes a hit when it comes to alcohol. Loss of appetite and a tendency to bruise easily. So we work with the Bs, the biochemical, emotional, electrical, and structural. So the 4 different realms as a kinesiologist, which is one of the reasons I love doing what I do, because no stone goes unturned being a kinesiologist. When we're looking at biochemical for the liver, our focus is to ensure this clearance of toxic waste. We are also looking at a healthy microbiome function. We want blood sugar balancing because of this relationship with the pancreas and sugar, and we need to reduce stress. So how we work as functional kinesiologists is we will be using dietary balancing to balance those macronutrients, especially balancing those carbohydrates and avoiding processed sugar. Our preferred diet is the protein, fats, and carbohydrates blood sugar balancing diet when it comes to the liver. We also use supplements to help support the body and the liver's ability to be able to clean toxins down. So if a liver muscle is imbalanced in a session, then we will be looking at the following supplements. Omega-3, which is a healthy fat that bypasses the liver, so not putting more stress on the liver to do more work. We also look at fat-soluble vitamins, including A, D, and E. You can see that there are links to clinical studies that show the importance of fat-soluble vitamins and the health of the liver. Magnesium is a great liver support. There are herbal remedies that you can look at for liver detoxing and liver support, which is things like milk thistle. Estrogen detoxing, we use 3 supplements, 3 technical supplements that are amazing to actually support the body's ability to be able to detox estrogen using those phase 1 and phase 2 liver pathways that the liver goes through. And that's NAC, DIM, and calcium deglucarate. So if you are a health practitioner or wanting to study as a health practitioner and you wanting to do more liver work, then those are the 3 supplements that we use. Emotional balancing, we work with the traditional Chinese medicine 5-element theory, and the liver sits in the wood element, and the emotion in the wood element is anger and resentment, which can manifest as frustration, irritability, bitterness, or flying off the handle. And how we would work with that is the emotional work. We call it shadow work or anger processing. And there's a video attached to the blog that shows how we would work with anger processing. This is a big part of our emotional retreats that we run, as well as the holding space module as part of functional kinesiology, is really helping clients explore their anger from a healthy perspective, because anger is our passion. So when we're able to express it in a healthy way, then we're able to go out into the world and be passionate. So anger is not a bad thing. It just needs to find a healthy outlet. Electrical balancing, the time of day for the liver meridian is at nighttime, so 11 p.m. through to 1 a.m. at night. And those with a liver imbalance can often wake around this time. The liver meridian originates on the big toe and it runs up through the inner leg. It comes around the hips and the abdomen, and then it comes in out to the waist and then underneath the nipple. Structural balancing for the liver, because the muscles are to do with the chest and the back, what we tend to see with the liver imbalance is slumped shoulders or tight shoulders, a slumped chest, a tight back. And so what we would recommend from a structural perspective, the neurolymphatic points for the liver are on this right-hand side, underneath this bra line area. And so avoiding women avoiding wearing underwire bras that press on that ribs 5 and 6 lymphatic area will really help support the liver, and the stomach, because the stomach's on the left hand side, will support that lymphatic flow for the liver. So how does the liver meridian fit into the triangle of hormonal health, which is at the core of what we teach in functional kinesiology? Well, due to the huge amount of work that the liver does in the body, it is central to the triangle. So you'll often see that the liver sits in the heart of the triangle. Now, if there's an imbalance in blood sugars, then the liver will be overworked, having to store and release that glucose. If there's high stress, then the liver will be required to produce more cholesterol for the cortisol. If there is an imbalance in sex hormones, then the liver function is going to have to be able to deal with those excess of sex hormones. And so we need to be looking at the liver as a core part of balancing this triangle of hormonal health. So that is the liver meridian as part of kinesiology.